Every single day, you must give your future the fuel that it needs to thrive. Your future needs to be fed. It needs nutrients. It needs your excitement. And a lot of people talk about living in the present, and the present's a great place to live, to feel fulfilled and meaningful and joyful and grateful. That's awesome. I truly believe being in the present moment with your family, with your friends, with anyone you're interacting with, it's awesome. It's important. There's so much research on the health benefits of living in the present, on the fulfillment that comes from living in the present. The worst place, I think we can agree, the worst place to live is in the past. There's no opportunity for you to grow in the past by spending time in the past unless you're learning from it. But once you learn from the past, let it go and move forward. Grow into your future. Become the next best version of yourself. You can't become the next best version of yourself by just keeping yourself mentally and emotionally in the past, especially because so many of us leave ourselves in the past in disempowered states. We leave ourselves in the past when we were run down, when we were beat up, when things weren't going our way, when we felt negative. We live in opportunities from the past where we missed the opportunity to really thrive, and we regret it, or we wish it would have gone differently. But my friend, what I can tell you is that's not going to help you to create an incredible future. If you want to create and live an incredible future, you must start to feed that future. Just like people talk about, you've got to live in the present to create an amazing present life. If you want to create an amazing future life, then you absolutely have to live in the future. Mentally, emotionally, you have to put yourself there. You have to feel what it's going to feel like to be in the future. 3 specific things that I do to feed my future, to start building the future that I want in my mind, because as Albert Einstein said, imagination is the preview of life's coming attraction. So it's your mind, it's your imagination. When you live in that imagination, that you can start to create and build an exciting, amazing future. You've got to make it here in your head first before it can be created in reality. So 3 specific things that I do to really feed and fuel the future so that it's energized, so that it's exciting, so that I'm motivated to take the action necessary, put in the effort consistently to create and build that future. You see, that's another big piece of it. Before I share the 3 specific things that I do, you've got to understand that your future, an exciting, big, bright future that you want to create, requires effort. So I'm not telling you to imagine a future just because if you imagine it, it's going to happen. Part of imagination is also getting you excited in the present to put in the work to create a great future. I know there's a lot of talk about law of attraction, and I believe in this concept of believe it and it can happen, but I also know for certain that it requires effort. So law of attraction is not just like think it and it will become reality. Very often, law of attraction requires that law of effort. You've got to put in an effort to make it happen on the back end. And so when you're imagining a bigger, brighter, better future, and you're building that future, when you're feeding and fueling that future with your thoughts, with your imaginations, now you're getting excited in the current day, in the present moment, to take the action and do the work necessary to create and build that future that you're imagining. So 3 specific things that I do to build my imagination about the future that I want to create. Number 1, I imagine it. I mean, literally, I just think about it. I visualize it. I spend time in my mind's eye in the future. If you've at all studied high performance athletes, professional athletes at the highest level, performing at the highest level, they work with sports psychologist coaches who help them to understand the power of visualization. And if you talk to anyone who's achieved at extraordinary levels, very often they talk about how they could see in their mind's eye the life they were creating before it ever came to reality. And so you've got to spend time living mentally in the future that you want to create so that you can fuel it, fill it up with all of the contents that you want. And I don't just mean the materialistic things. I mean, who do you want to become? What do you want to experience? Where do you live? Who are you with? Who do you love? Who are you in community with? Who are you leading? What are you creating in the world? You've got to fill your mind with the content of that future, all of the different components of visualization, so that you can start to make it even bigger and brighter. Because the more you start to feed new ideas and perspectives and layer on different components to the future you want to create, and you add in details, it's adding in those details that actually makes it come alive in your mind and in your heart right now in present day. And the more you can make it come alive in present day, the more you're in a position to feel like it's a reality. And if you want to really ingrain it into your mind, into your heart, into who you are, the next thing you can do, the thing that I do every single day, journal. Journal about the future you want to create, because it's one thing to live here mentally. It's another thing. Something really special happens when you put pen or pencil, in this case, to paper. I like to use pen mostly. I just happen to have a pencil laying right there, so I picked it up. But when you can put pen to paper in a really high quality journal, it doesn't actually matter. Like, I love high quality journals because I love journaling. I love that as a daily practice. But even if you're not going to do it as a daily practice, the times that you just put pen or pencil to a piece of paper and dream out the things that you want to live, and you put pen to paper on those dreams that you have, and you visualize through writing, it really starts to become fueled because you get excited about it. And the more you can imagine it and then put pen to paper, the more it starts to connect with who you are right now. And the third thing that I do that really relates to this piece is to walk as if. Walk as your future self. I know a lot of people say, well, act as if is like fake it till you make it. And that really, fake it till you make it is fake. It's inauthentic. Man, I'm here to tell you that when you walk as your future self, you start to feel more confident. You start to feel like the person that you want to become. And when you feel like the person that you want to become, you are well on your way to becoming that person. I can tell you that if I'm going into a store, or if I've gone on vacations and I've been on the beach, or if I'm just going for a walk in nature, or just down the street or on the sidewalk, if I'm walking by myself, I walk as my future self. Not every single time I go for a walk do I do this, but very often I just put in music or I don't listen to anything, and I just imagine myself as my future self, and I walk as if, and I have the images go through my head of the life that I'm going to live when I become that person. And it's not to say that I'm not content with my life today. I'm incredibly in love with life today. I'm incredibly grateful for my life, and I'm so amazingly happy. And I want to do more. I want to become more. I want to go to my next level so that I can serve more people even more value with the work that I'm here, that I've been made to do in this world. And you've got work that you're made to do in this world. You have been created and given gifts and talents that you're destined to use to serve humanity. Whether it's a handful of people in your local community, or your family and your children that you take after, and your spouse or your partner or significant other, or your local community, or you have been given gifts to use to reach people around the entire world, you are here to use those gifts to bless people. I truly believe that you've got something to give people. And if you can start to imagine yourself playing at your next level, at your highest level, using those gifts and talents to truly serve humanity, to help people, to elevate human lives, to inspire or motivate or encourage or empower or uplift people with your words or with your services or with whatever skills you have. Maybe you're a singer, maybe you're an artist, maybe you're a speaker, maybe you're someone that wants to be an amazing parent, and that's your greatest gift. And that's amazing. We all have gifts and talents that we are here to use in the world in a really profound and meaningful way, not just for our own fulfillment, but for the contribution that we can make. And so, my friend, if you can start to imagine an amazing future, and you can write about it, and you can walk as that future version of yourself, and you can really fuel that future, then you're going to have more energy to give in the world, and you're going to have more aliveness right now in your present. You see, when you can imagine an exciting future, well, now you see possibilities. And when you see possibilities, you start to feel more positive and inspired and motivated. And now, even though you're thinking about the future, you feel better in the present. And if you can feel better in the present, you can be a better version of yourself in the present. You don't even have to wait for the future to come to be the next best version of yourself, because you can live it right now. And my friend, if you want to become the next best version of yourself, and you want to grow into a more capable, able human to use your gifts and your talents to serve more people, I want to keep you inspired and encouraged and motivated to do the work, to make the effort to become that version of yourself. And if you want that, go watch this video next, where I can continue to help you on your journey to become the best version of yourself. And no matter what struggles and challenges you are going through, my friend, just keep going. You got this.